I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
What is going on here, number one?
Engage!
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone. What is going on here, number one?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I shouldn't be so confident.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Stay calm, everyone.
I shouldn't be so confident. Engage! On screen. What the hell is going on?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange. Make it so.
I don't know.
No response, sir.
Enlarge and identify.
In my opinion, sir, they're gibberish.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Engage. Move to intercept.
I shouldn't be so confident. Slow to impulse speed.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Let's investigate. Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough! Engage. Let's investigate. Engage.
Slow to impulse speed.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I don't know.
We must intervene.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timelines Talks. Featuring guest musical performers, Metallica frontman, oh my, it's Stars and Garter. Also featuring, hey buddy, you're a tier 9. Look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, from Spreadsheet City, here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another edition of Timelines Talks, the premium #1 talk show for all things Star Trek Timelines. I am here with, as always, with my co-host Automaton 2000, and replacing Stars for this week as he is off with a bit of a cold is Jenos Idanian. Thank you very much, Jenos, for coming and joining. Am I saying your name right? I think I am. You told me that I wasn't before.
No, it's fine. I actually have no idea how I intended to have it pronounced. I've never said it out loud, so I'm gonna go with that because it's delightfully British.
Yeah, nice. Jenos Idanian, thank you for joining
having
us
me.
this week.
First time, long time.
First time caller, long time listener. No, yes, that's right. This week on the show, we will be doing another showdown. We will be continuing the search for the next shipboard counselor to replace Deanna Troi. We have the Q collection. Snap, it has joined us for a little bit of a bonus. A Living Nightmare. Jenos is here to talk about his fresh new game mode, which you should try. It's the latest hotness. Get on it. We won't be talking about sinks, whoever put that in the show notes. And what a snack. Mira Saru's mighty voyage power has joined the game. First of all, as we always do, let's pay attention to the voyage ranks. Last week's event winner getting a glorious 5 copies of Sahil. Rowden wins from the Klingon Marauders fleet. Congratulations to you yourself. But we've got a few names in the chat. In the sort of fleet rankings that we observed. 10F's very own from my own fleet. 10F's very own Rosen in rank 22. I also spotted GBP. What's the fleet name? GBP.
Ground Birds of Prey.
That's the one. Aren't you in that fleet, Auto?
I am.
You are in that fleet. Bear was there at number 11, so congratulations to him. And Data Core employee, worker, volunteer, Sankansei Siet is at number 12. Anyone you spotted, Auto?
Your pronunciation of the words is all over the place.
Sankatse.
I love it.
Hey, it's British innocence. It's
Siete. It is Spanish.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking of the episode from Voyager, but maybe I'm getting that wrong too. I haven't watched it in about 15 years, so.
And Starfleet drunk there in 37th place. I feel like each week we add another person. I'm going to end up shouting out the whole top 50 sooner or later.
1 to 50. Let's just go.
Should we just read it off?
Yeah.
And
Hey, if they're all watching the show, we'll read them all off. You know.
Hey, we'll get like a top 40 going. And at number 20, leading the pack. Just count it down. And at number
You
1.
will be our Casey Kasem.
Yeah, you want a DJ quite bad, don't you?
I do. I'll get my decks out any minute now.
Sorry, get your what out? Not on
my
stream,
decks.
Oh.
Yeah, come on. We said we were going to keep this a bit more family friendly. Anyway, this week, yes, Christmas, as you can't tell, around us all. Coming up, hopefully this week, if I get the job done, we'll have a couple more site advice sections. We've had more write-ins from the Big Ticket and Top Man who have asked us, can you give us some site advice? So hopefully this week, keep an eye on the YouTube channel. They'll be popping up there for you to see. But gentlemen, let's talk about the first big bit of news that happened this week, which was the Q collection has joined the game, and quite a small one, like the EV Suit collection. Only sort of a what was it, 1,510 for the collection.
Yeah.
To get yourselves some proficiencies for dip, science, and medical proficiencies all around. Quite an easy collection to get. I think you only need 1 gold. Any notable names on there?
Well, from the golds, obviously Q is God, the former Mega. It's going to be probably the top one most people have immortalized. And then Quinn from episode 10 is the reward. You can add warp him and get 2 copies. He'll be there for any account, no matter when you make it. So that's sort of an easy notch. And his numbers are still good enough. I think he's right around Voyager 30. He's got a big dip base. So he doesn't fill a lot of niche places, but he's got good power, and getting 2 copies for free makes him an easy choice to finish. So probably one of those 2, and then the rest are all purple except for Florist Q as the only blue or lower in the collection. So it's about the same rarity level as the EV Suit collection was.
Yeah, and there's a few other names on there. If you were part of the Q Mega last year, I mean, you're going to have quite a few notches on that already, with God Q being the sort of, if you didn't cite him by now, then it's probably worth just sticking the extra star and maybe finishing the collection, because, the proficiencies are worth grabbing, I think. And a few bonuses as well.
I'm excited because this is 3 months in a row.
Yes.
Now, I don't know what that's saying is. Something like twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a trend. So,
a winning streak.
We're on a streak, and I hope it doesn't stop, because we have Christmas festivities coming up. We have 5-year anniversary festivities in January. I hope they have maybe 1 or 2 more in the hopper for us too, or some collection expansion, because we've been harping on that for a while, and they're coming through on it. So I'm excited to see.
I mean, what have we had recently? We had the Mirror collection, we've had EV Suit, and now it's Q. This is all within, there's one a month, once every 3 weeks or so.
Yep.
I think it has been something like that, and that's a nice change of pace, and it's getting like we always say about collection rewards, it's giving a little bit of value to those crew we probably wouldn't look twice at, like Q Junior, like Miss Q.
Well, I would look twice, but
Susie Plaxton, of course you would. Where is the Susie Plaxton collection? I don't think we've got all the cards from hers yet.
We need the Jeffrey Coombs collection first,
and that as well, and the Gregory Itzon collection as well. So yes, Q collection is gone. Most veteran players probably have got that collected straight away. If you've not, 5 crews pretty easy to get. And if you're looking for someone to cite and you want to just get that extra, I think was it med proficiency is the last one, or is it psi? If you just want to get that extra 1%, doesn't sound like a lot.
Dip, psi, and med.
Dip, psi, and med. Speaking of dip, psi, and med, this week's event is it's good, isn't it? I wasn't prompted.
Really good.
I wasn't prompted by you or anything before the show. This week we have, and let me just tweak something on the screen. Get rid of that. Yes, this week we have Mirror Saru is the rank 1500 reward for the very strange and potentially unique Galaxy faction, which I don't believe we've had in. Is it ever, or is it quite some time? I cannot recall.
Ever, I believe.
Ever. So this is the first time it's been done in this order, and For those interested, we've got a standard Galaxy. Yes, you will still get your community reward, so you'll get your 4/4 off-duty Tilly. And also, the faction event is one faction, and I believe it is just Federation. If you check your in-game mail now, you'll have some Federation transmissions and some chronotons as part of your event mail. But Mira Saru coming in, Dip Med Psi, a fairly common combination we've seen quite a few times before. However, Voyage rank number 25.
Well, if I can back it up, let's talk about this event structure for a minute, because it has not appeared before. Federation's going to be the only factions. People talking about kickstarts. Back when they've done one mission factions before, they usually give 20 missions to that faction. So the kickstart would be comparable, even if they only go to 16 or whatever. It'll be comparable. It'll be a little slower, but the big thing is you don't know. I mean, if say the cutoff for 1,500 is 600,000 VP or 700,000 VP, that's extremely hard to make up in only one faction phase without a proper kickstart. So it's going to be kind of a game of chicken with people in the Galaxy phase. How much do I have to craft to be safe to get him in? And this is a card that I think most people will want to get. He has good power. He's in the Mirror Collection, which needs a lot of pretty poor gold. So it'll be interesting to watch the VP unfold over the weekend.
Definitely. Jenos, have you got a plan? Are you going for Saru?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Saru. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to proceed as far as how much VP I was going to try to get Thursday, Friday, Saturday from the Galaxy phase. I'm thinking it's probably going to take at least 600 or 700,000 VP. And knowing that you're going to have a slow kickstart, and knowing that, at least for me, being a family man that I am, I have a little bit less time to play on the weekends, other than, checking in on shuttles every maybe 3 hours. I don't know if I can break that down to every hour and a half, or even less if I'm using 4 or 5 star boosts. So I'm probably going to have to Galaxy quite a bit more than I want to, because Galaxies are trash.
Thank you.
Thankfully, I've done some pre-farming, and I don't, go crazy with leveling crew that I don't have to. So I hopefully have enough components to do that all right.
It's going to be interesting.
I do want Saru, but it's going to be weird.
It is going to be strange. It's going to be interesting going into the Galaxy, into a faction, and thinking, I need to kickstart. Usually you associate kickstart with, we start the event and, we'll start getting the shuttle rolling, but we're already going to be midway through an event and, thinking, do I need to kickstart, or can I just casually get my way up there? Because you're probably going to, if you're serious for Saru, you're probably going to have earned quite a decent amount of VP to start with.
All I know is I'm really sad we're not going to be able to run dirty shuttles.
Yes, that's true.
Justice for dirty shuttles.
Can we run dirty, super rare items? No, that doesn't work. You can't claim them after.
You probably can't. No, if you don't turn them in, you're toast. You got to make sure that you do. But thankfully, there's really no reason to hoard them. You should just turn them in as you go, unless you're, because you got two whole more days.
So the crew itself is, we had another Saru, Vahari Saru, back during the Cyberneticist Mega. That was in April of this year. And so do yourself a favor if you're thinking about getting him, and go look them up side by side. They are nearly identical crew. Same, their base is within 1 point of each other. The skill order is the same. Outside of a little better power from Mira Saru and the collection, they're almost identical. So if you're not a collection fiend and you don't want to keep chasing incremental upgrades, I wouldn't blame you for passing, in particular in this event structure. But it is a good crew. I still haven't. I know I'm going to get them. I haven't figured out how. I might just try my luck with packs the next week or something and just pick up one copy. But him being almost an exact copy of his older brothers is a little bit weird, but I guess my favorite thing about this crew would be the art. There's some sort of, I can't explain it. It's almost like
he's very menacing,
like Twilight Zone-esque, like black and white TV. Like that is what they pictured, these aliens with the long limbs and the awkward stances and stuff. So I really love the art. I love his pose.
It's very nice.
And this is,
they all look like Doug Jones.
Yeah, they picked the right actor for Saru.
Definitely. You know, looking at
Does this
you
get the Mega back on track for you as far as gold is concerned?
a little bit, doesn't it? Because
It helps.
yeah, I mean, last week, you know, Sahil wasn't too great. Book and Grudge was okay. You know, it's getting an upward trend. We'll see what they do next week. But you know, looking at his art is very menacing and he's sort of very kind of looming. But you watch the episode and he's quite demure because spoiler alert for season 1 of Disco. But the Kelpians in that universe are essentially slaves and occasionally dinner. Depending on the Kelpian. So it's a sort of like a menacing air to him that he doesn't quite have, but I kind of like it, and I kind of wish we'd seen this Mirror Saru, which would have been, the same way we saw Mirror Killy. That would have been quite cool in the episode. But
yeah, as for the Mega so far, discounting Burnham for a second, we've had 2 crew who are frankly bad Voyagers, at least for the standard of new release crew, but strong bases. And then the question is, well, are we going to get another all discovery bonus? Because if not, when are you going to use these crew? So Saru has the Voyage helps. I mean, because you can use these numbers several times a week if you were to fully fuse them. And he still has a strong enough base that Saru will get events independently of an all discovery bonus. So yeah, definitely picks it up. Burnham herself is not a world beater, but strong in the right areas. So I imagine the last gold reward, whenever we find out the stats for them, might make or break recaps for a lot of people. Because right now we sort of have 2 not so good cards and 2 pretty good cards. So do you guys have plans for recaps?
And then Burnham is the 5th gold, and she's good. It's nice that 2 of the events are only going to give us 3 out of 4. What makes the purples a little bit more compelling to pull for recaps. So I think if the 4th gold is worth it, and if I'm so fortunate as to grab a copy of Saru, I might pull some recaps. Save me a sight on Burnham as well, hopefully.
You don't want another Solok or Jamel sitting in your roster, or a Linus Paris sitting in your roster, just kind of going, I did recaps for this.
My Linus a 3 out of 5 because of recaps.
Yeah, well, that's
I
better.
went to Pring at 4 out of 5. And again, she's part of the reason that I pulled, so I
Well,
have no one to blame but me on that one.
Listen, if you love to Pring.
You wanted to Pring.
You wanted to Pring?
Yeah, and I got her.
No good. What is the quote? No good thing is wanting when having is not the. Oh, no, I can't remember the quote. Should have written down beforehand. Hey.
And if you knew it, you would have botched it anyways.
Exactly. Oh, you know me so well. Regular viewer. It's so nice you can make it on for the last time, Jenos. Great.
You're gonna kill me off at the end of the show, right? Was that my heel turn?
Yeah, this is
We only
your,
tease people we hate, Idol. Don't worry about it.
Okay, let's move things on very quickly. This week's Super Rare Crew, who you can get 4 or 4 of if you get to 130k VP, The Colony Tilly, which is a bit of a bizarre name. She is Super Rare Crew, Eng Dip Psy. Not entirely uncommon in Super Rare ranks, but she's not something special. Not got a lot to say about her, to be honest. The art is great. I really like the art. I love the sort of the backlit kind of the light coming through her hair, but it's just, it's a strange name for what could have been away team Tilly. I think, but
Maybe they're still planning an away team, Tilly.
maybe there's something we
See,
don't
that's
know.
funny because my first saw with that art was Grebned Log because they both have the sort of brown-orange color palette, So
Discovery
my
ruined
apologies
in
to
the-
Tilly, but that's what came to my mind first.
Make us go. Oh, I don't have that.
Actually,
I need someone on
Grebned
my-
Log is probably the more useful super rare too, because Tilly herself, I think this is only her 3rd event, and she's been around in the game for over 3 years now. So that may pick up if they stop the all Discovery Megas. But as a standalone, you're not really using her on voyages. If you're new and you're going to get 4 copies because there's a Galaxy component, obviously. But for anyone else who has to make decisions on purples, it's probably going to be a no. So you sort of freeze her and pull her out for events. But day to day, yeah, she doesn't have much else.
just from chat, and Temporal Agent 7, who runs the data core and has sort of passed on to the new team. It says, those quotes are messing up spreadsheets and stuff, and this is a common complaint for any crew that has apostrophes or commas or anything in the name, is there is no standard for what they put them in, and it's been a constant annoyance for anyone that runs sort of any kind of behind-the-scenes stats for these crews, so yes. More quotes on a name annoys everyone.
We asked for them to come back. It's nice to see it as a little, bit of flavor for the card. But
True. The colony.
By the way, hello, Temporal Agent 7. I think this is the first time I've seen them in chat. I've asked them to come on the show before because starting and running the data core has been a huge boon to the community, and we'd love to pick your brain on a few things. So
get on the stream.
If you have the time post-holidays, we'd love to have you on.
Oh, we would. We'll have so many questions. Why have you broken everything?
1 to 3 questions.
So, Tilly, nothing particularly special, but this kind of wraps around to a question we were talking about earlier. Are we going to see... Because this is a Disco Mega without the Disco tag. And we kind of touched on this a bit last week, but looking forward, are we really going to be having that kind of, tier weighting towards Disco Crew? Is that going to influence the decisions, or are they now just run-of-the-mill... Because of the show, they're just going to tack them onto sort of like they're doing now. They're going to tack them onto Mirror Megas because the pool is too huge. It's too large.
Well, if anyone out there knows the answer, feel free to write in, because it is a little bit dartboardish with this. I mean, WRG is going to do what they want. And as long as there's a contract with CBS, who knows? Maybe we have 200 bonus pool Disco Megas. But we're going to operate under the assumption going forward that we won't see those. I think this is sort of the white flag. They're saying, okay, 16 Discovery events has been enough. And obviously we're not going to see an end to Discovery variants and Discovery Crew. And maybe they'll do more like this where they flood with 10, 12 Discovery Crew. I know some people love to see it, but in terms of Discovery bonuses, I just don't know. I don't think so. But we have other shows coming up. Picard has gone through a full season. Strange New Worlds is coming out. I would like to see, a Mega with them and add a little more flavor to the Discovery deluge.
I could see them doing what they did with the Toss Mega eventually, where they just did Bridge Crew and they just named specific crew that were going to be a part of the bonus. And of course, then they have to decide who's Bridge Crew. Do you get, your 2 Oosakons and, you get a couple of Detmers in there and, does Mirror Detmer count? I could see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly interesting to sort of see how they're going to pull these in the future and what they're going to prioritize, especially with Disco and the new shows, and hopefully some more lower decks, which Ben did say they're sort of looking into doing. Will they do that as a Mega, which would be quite cool, As you can see on my hat, I have an Ensign Tendi up here, so I'm very excited. Thank you very much for Skycat for sending me these and the nice knitted hanger. I've got to show this off because I'm very happy with it.
I was going to yell at you if you didn't.
No, because look, there's cross stitch by Sky herself. Glory to you and your house, because she knows I'm moving house soon. So she, we were doing a Secret Santa, and she sent me that. So thank you very much, Skycat, for these.
So she's bribing her way onto the show.
She is. Well, she doesn't need to bribe. She's already had 2 appearances.
We had the page yet.
If there would have been 10 minutes before the show and she said she wanted to go on, you would have bumped me in a second.
Listen, we had to make a deal, but so yes,
Stars is tied up in a dark room with a gag in his mouth right now. We'll let him out when the show's done.
Yeah, there's a precedence to guess. One person goes, the other person stays. We're knocking people down all the time. That's why it's taking you this long.
The fact of the matter is we can't have 4 people on this show. You're out. Jenos is in.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you really want to torture Stars, just play video of Worf getting beaten up on a loop, because he just constantly gets beaten up by entities and strong, super strong things. So they have to show how strong that entity or that other person is. They have to beat up Worf.
You must think me a fool to make your lies so transparent.
Yeah, there we go. That's our Worf mention.
There we go.
So all we have to do is mention Worf, and WRG Ben shows up in chat. He's been trolling Stars and Garters the last few weeks with Worf news. So
there was a comment put on last week's show, which I just noticed about 5 more minutes before we went on, saying, "Why is Star so obsessed with Worf? You're playing a strange game, sir."
Yeah.
What have I done to earn your disrespect?
Just imagine that, stars. Okay, this week's Threshold super rare reward, which you can get if you can get up to the required rank of just under 1/500. Mirror Mayweather, who's had a little bit of a fall from grace recently. He previously, I think when I started the game auto, you would put him up in sort of tier 2 and tier 3. Now he's sitting at tier 5. Why the drop? Why has he gone sort of dropped his ranks ever so slightly?
Ben says, I have Wharf news. Wharf or GTFO, that's what I have to say. So if you're here to tease, we'll have none of it. But if you want to drop some news, then we'll drop the
Listen,
the
if you can get in the call, get in the call.
Well, yeah, when he debuted, I think he was 2018 crew. And, before 2.5 years of power creep, you would use a little more purples on your voyages. He had a strong base. Sec Eng wasn't filled out until the next year, more in 2019. So he's a little more rounded edges these days. The things that stood out before, he sort of won in a crowd. Now, the Mirror Collection did perk up his value. Obviously, you're going to need all those purples plus a handful of bad golds. And the trade itself, once that second Vulcan mega hit, we thought, oh, well, maybe traits are back on the menu. Can we see traits rerun? And sure enough, here comes Mega again. So he'll get another 1.5 events for you. Beyond that, yeah, Mayweather's not an event name. For some people, his best value is bringing the mountain climbing Mayweather LTO to us this week, which is a nice crew to pick up. But yeah, so in terms of power, he's middling, but he has a collection value. So if you can pick him up 4 copies for the collection on your way to getting a good reward in Saru, I think that would be worth it. Yeah.
Enough said about him. Okay, Jenos, there is a reason we have brought you on the show this week. We are to talk about something you came up with, and I would like you to talk us through it a little bit. You came up with this mode and sort of managed to drag me along with it. Tell us a little bit about Nightmare Mode. We've spoken a little bit on the show about it before, but I thought, hey, it's time we dragged you in here and explained yourself to everyone.
Yeah, so Nightmare Mode is just something that just occurred to me at some point. I think I was thinking about the Gray Crew and thinking that, basically they're freeze and forget for almost everyone. Some of them have a collection. You don't really use them for almost anything. Green Crew are much more easily accessible even for the new player, and you get them with every 90k pull, every 2-hour dilemma, or they're just that much easier to get. So I had an idea to have you start a brand new alt. That's alternate account for people who aren't familiar with the lingo. And then you start out, you can only use and level Gray Crew until you have finished every single Gray Crew, and then you can move on to collecting and fusing up and leveling Green Crew. And then once you finish those, you go on to blues, you finish all the blues, and then you can start using purples and golds. And no, you don't have to finish all the purples to start using golds, because that would be impossible. Yeah. The only restrictions I put on it is that you had to use every accessible green and gray, and then green, and then blue, which means you have to buy Stargazer Picard out of the honor hall. You have to buy the EMH out of the honor hall, and then you have to go ahead and
Sorry, I activated every trigger at once there. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Carry on. So sorry, I meant to press this button. There we go.
I need to recover.
Carry on.
Here. I'm fatigued from that, which means Commanding Officer Cisco has to be claimed from the achievement and then cited up with honor. So it's interesting. It kind of puts a new color on the game, and it gives you a little bit more appreciation for those Gray Crew that nobody ever thinks about using. I don't know how I managed to loop you into it. Only you can really tell me.
Well, so we were talking about this, and yeah, I apologise to everyone in the chat that had to hear that. Sorry. You kind of sort of said to me, because we've talked about alts, and I say, oh yeah, I run an alt, and you say, well, have you tried my the Nightmare Mode? And I thought, well, this sounds interesting, because we have all, like you said, we have all these Grey Crew who are trash, but you never get to appreciate what they're worth. And believe it or not, if you take your green crew out of the equation, some of these grey crews are actually quite good, and it's amazing how far you can get. Now, I've said you guys on screen can't see it, but I've just pulled up my game in here, and this is the mission map done with only grey crew. You can get all the way up to episode 10 with grey crew. You can get to sort of the first mission, which is a ship battle. I had I've just expanded. There we go. I had a few extra little nightmare tweaks that I wanted to put on my account just to make things a little bit more difficult. Whereas anytime I got a purple, blue, or gold crew, I was like, I'm airlocking them because I'm not going to take them until I reach that level. Whereas I think you've kept your gold crew, haven't you?
I have. I kept my golds. I've gotten rid of all of my any blues that I got for honor, and I've gotten rid of any purples. The only blue I didn't get rid of was Commanding Officer Cisco, who I accidentally claimed from the achievement. Oops, but that's all right. You don't really need to worry about slots at this point. But yeah, I mean, eventually it's going to be somewhat of a normal free-to-play or VIP 0 alt, so I'll want to use those golds. Purples, not so much, but I've been playing it for a little while, so I have 4 out of 5 EV Suit Spock, I have 1 out of 5 Courier Burnham, and then I've gotten a few lucky beholds, so I have, and a couple crew that I really wish I had on my main. Merryman Troy is on there, and then I got Laborer Kirk from that free behold.
But it's going to be a long
that's
time.
Pretty cool.
It's going to be a long time before you can use them, because I say part of the rules you set down was and I'll show you, people on screen here, my accidentally claimed Commanding Officer Siska. You cannot level them, use them, not even on a tank shuttle or anything. You must keep using the crew you've got until the time comes to unlock that. And it is interesting. It's really interesting how much you can use these crew. Like with all grey crew, we can get 2-hour voyages. Took a while, but you can get them. And I think you're now finding, because we've both it took about 3 months to get to greens.
Yeah.
It was about 3 months to get there, just because of trainers. And you can see now with my honor haul here, I'm now trying to get.
Why did it take so long?
It did. I think it is literally that reason. But you've sort of definitely talked up, and also you can comment on this, the merits of tanking shuttles for this, especially for a newer crew.
Well, Shaikon had asked us on the forums this week a suggestion for a topic about alt accounts. So we bumped that up to today due to Star's inaccessibility. And so, we'll dive more into that. But I will say, one of the, as someone who's gone through a lot of alts myself, one of the biggest downsides is getting a card that you've always wanted on your other account, and you just wish you could transfer them over, but you can't. So
yeah.
Or in your case, having them trapped in carbonite and unable to use them.
Right. Yeah. It's really tough. Like, for example, I do have a VIP 0 alt that is in the VIP 0 fleet with Stellar Ice, who's the admiral there, who we've had on the show a couple of times. And in my very first gauntlet on that event, or on that account, from I think I was a rank 190 gauntlet, I got Bartender Guinan, who continues to elude me on my main account with more than 20,000, probably 30,000 at this point gauntlet rounds. So it's the worst.
So the question is, and Plain Simple Garrick in chat says, have you talked to a council about these annihilation fantasies? Do you feel like you did this because you weren't getting this kind of challenge and appreciation in the main game, in your main account, or are you actually insane?
A little bit of column A, less than column B, but a little bit of column B. I'd say after a certain point, your main account is somewhat on autopilot in between in between events, unless there's something cool that comes out, like a Tuesday pack you really want, or 390s on a Wednesday, or 490s on a Friday, or temporary achievement or something. And yes, we want more temporary achievements, Ben. They're super awesome. Just to make sure they end and start on the right day, please. Getting them on the right day is important. But you can do your dailies, maybe logging in once or twice. You get your voyage, you send out some shuttles, you do scans, you do your away missions, you warp those, and you're done. So having the challenge of either a VIP 0 account or a Nightmare account, really, it lets you go back through the game that you might have might not appreciate on your main account anymore.
So you mentioned 4 copies of Eevee Suit Spock. I was going to ask, how are you guys doing in events? How long did it take you to get up to speed? Did you need 5, 10 Immortal Greys before you could do faction events and such?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So what was helpful is getting into a fleet that could share at least one crew as the squad leader, because that gives you pretty
that's
much
a loophole.
one.
That is the one loophole I think we both agreed to. Was
Yeah,
you
that's the
could
one
use,
loophole. Yeah,
I think because that benefits someone else by giving them the VP, you can use the gold for
Whatever you got to tell yourself, guys.
Right.
Hey, if you want to start an
yes,
ultra
one.
it's fine.
Yeah, you can just not have a fleet at all. You can just be out there with your ship alone, just like normal. But yeah, that gives you one successful shuttle out of every wave. Galaxy is pretty hard, but all the VP that you get typically gives you at least some trainers, and there's plenty of gold trainers in low VP rank or threshold rewards, which is fantastic because trainers are a huge logjam for Nightmare, probably even up through the blue stage. And especially when you have to save all of your honor for honor sale purchases. It's what Stargazer Picard is 1,500 or 3,500 honor or something, and the EMH is 15,000 honor. 15,000.
I'm on my way to on here. I think
the site for him is 500 honor or something stupid.
The one thing with the bottleneck with the trainers and the fact that you've only got such a limited crew is you tend to have a lot of crons. Like, I don't think I've been shy of 2,500-3,000 crons. Like, every time I get someone up the next level, I've easily got enough to get them up to the next stage. It is purely that trainers. So I've got crons for galaxy events and for skirmishes easily to kind of get a bit more advantage in leveling. So it's a sort of an experiment into running a limited set crew for a new player. Sort of, the thing we always tell people when they start the game is only ignore everyone. Level 1 to 2 people and you'll be fine. Just ignore the rest. Don't waste your crons because you can use them in so many better places. So it's an interesting experiment, and it has, I will defend you on this one, Jenos. It has been fun because it's been it has been interesting to have the challenge in the game. And yes, okay, I could go and play another game for the challenge if I really want to spend my time more wisely. Right. But hey, we're here. We've accepted this life. This is the path we chose.
Yeah.
I know you guys have.
I think the tank shuttles definitely help out because after a faction event, assuming that you've kept that faction tanked, you can go ahead and get a lot of gold trainers from that. And I've saved my merits on this just for that. Otherwise, you could run them every 725 merits and get 300 honor maybe at the most, and get a bunch of gold trainers for that. I think in increments of 150 honor at this point, because that's 5 gold trainers each time.
So I know you guys have your own channel and a Discord server where you talk all about Nightmare mode and compare progress and stuff. How much has that been the motivating factor versus trying to do it alone?
Not doing it alone is cool. Otherwise, you're just kind of in a padded room tapping on your phone.
It is fun. It does infuriate.
We're both in a padded room talking on our phones.
It's slightly infuriating that Jenos is about 3 weeks in front of me, but yeah, you did start ahead of me. So, but it is a little bit of a community experience. It's been fun doing it, and I would love to see more people do it. And as Synergy in chat just mentions, would be nice if there was an activity that used just uncommon, common, and rare crews. And yeah, I do agree. And I think we've spoken about this before. That just getting a bit more use out of these crew, other than they're here, freeze them, use them for the cadets, done. It would be nice to sort of, because there are some interesting cards here, like season one Troy. We've got the wrong art Wesley Crusher, holding a teacup, Tuvok.
Don't forget Maki Chakotay.
Maki Chakotay, who is the single most annoying person to level, even if you've leveled up loads of golds. And even though he is the number 2 common Voyager, you don't use him that often because he's pretty bad.
He's the number 1 common Voyager.
No, because Stargazer Picard is the number 1 common Voyager.
I was asking who it is.
It's Stargazer Picard. Yeah, if you're going to do Nightmare, unlock Stargazer as soon as you can. He's great. Look at that. Command Dip Psy. What a pairing.
There's only 1 or 2 gray 3 skillers, which
Yeah,
is,
there's not
is
many.
really
Quark,
weird.
Bartender Quark is one of them.
Stargazer, I
And
think.
Stargazer, I think they're the only 2. Anyway,
And then
before we lose all our viewers,
Viewers. I do have to say, it was sort of a sad day when they made cadet missions ad warpable, because I know everyone was happy. Okay, I get 10 more crew slots, I save time, but that's another group of crew who you're just going to shunt off to the freezer and never think about again, which is a little bit sad.
Yeah.
But
And I think we're feeling it a little bit with Super Rare Crew, especially now we're talking about the colony Tilly, when you get to a certain, when you get to our point in the game, and it's like, it's a Super Rare, I'm going to level them, freeze them, +1 immortal. Oh wait, I can't get any more dilithium, and it's a bit, okay. They might have some use in the future. Okay, let's...
I mean, I definitely know some longtime players that only keep Ardra.
Well, true.
unfrozen.
She is the anomaly. She's the sort of unique, it's interesting to see these unique crew, like Ardra, who has the arena skirmish use, like Bones McCoy, who has such a big med base that you can't ignore him on anything. I would like to definitely see more crew leaning that way of the sort of weirdness. I like weird things. It's just me. Okay, this Tuesday's crew pack, we have Laneth. My pronunciation boggles everyone's minds.
Laneth.
Laneth.
Was she ever actually named in the
don't
show?
know. Have you watched it
Was
recently?
said out loud, or was it just?
I did watch it recently,
No,
and then I forgot she was in it until I looked her up on Memory Alpha. So,
Yes, one of those sort of who crew, and then you go, oh, okay. But
she doesn't have an apostrophe in her name.
She doesn't, so
it's sort of fitting because she's a fake Klingon, anyways. But
ooh, dissing out the burns there.
she is. She's augmented with human DNA. So
She is. Well, yeah, they were good episodes. I think there was a good sort of Enterprise trying to go, why did the Klingons look different? Oh, it was augments, and that was quite a good little sort of.
Let's bring a Soong in for fun.
Why not? Any excuse to get Brent Spiner in the episodes.
yeah. So there, in her episode, it's the one where they kidnap Dr. Phlox and try to get him to solve the virus, which is killing Klingons, and it turns out that they want to use his medical knowledge to create this super soldier augmented Klingon. And this is also the episode where we get Ontok from the Klingon super rare who has a big med proficiency in the game. You might use him sometimes in Gauntlet. We were just talking about this the other day. I really like those non-stereotypical Klingons, because you have Ontok, who's sort of, he's not boastful and he's not your typical warrior. He's a scientist. And how many scientist Klingons do you see? Same with Chipok, I think his name is, from DS9's Rules of Engagement, where he's the Klingon prosecutor trying to nail Worf to the wall for destroying a group of civilians. So I really like these sort of off-brand Klingons, or off-brand Dr. Rega, where he's not your typical greed-driven Ferengi. I really like where they get to explore these, because not all humans are the same. We're not all... I won't go there. We're not all the same, so it's nice to see a little bit of flavor from the other races. I realize that's nothing to do with Laneth, but...
Yeah, I think I agree, because I was rewatching The Undiscovered Country recently, and Chang is... I mean, other than the fact it's Christopher Plummer speaking Shakespeare, which is what you want from him anyway. But in a Klingon setting, he hams it up in the best way, but also shows you like you say, a different side of the Klingons. And Gorkon as well is a very... They're not... what's the word? They're not TNG or DS9 Klingons. They're the sort of... the opposite of that sort of show the... what's the phrase? No, it's gone. The thing that proves the rule. The exception that proves the rule? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's the one.
I think you're right.
Yeah, something like
This
that.
one.
Yes. But anyway, are you, knowing all this, knowing all the exceptions that prove those rules, is Laneth Sekeng number 60, Voyager 718, 281 for Super Rare, is she someone you want to dive into a six-pack? I think I know the answer.
Don't buy six-pack, kids.
There you go. Hey, he knows.
Well, there's a couple comps here. There's Klingon Taurus, who's a Sec Eng crew. There's Klingon Neelix, who's Sec Dip, but they have the same Sec score. She has the Augment collection, but that's not a terribly difficult one to complete. So you're kind of looking at traits. Yeah, for six-pack purples are easier to get than the golds, but I don't think there's enough meat on the bone for me to want to pay for this crew. If it were a event crew, I'd pick them up and try to freeze them, but not at a price of dilithium, no.
If they did an augment mega or an engineered, was engineered is the trait, isn't it, that counts towards?
They did the augment mega back 2018, where we got Darth Bashir from.
Since they've been repeating mega, we've had the second Vulcan, the second Mirror mega. They could again do another augment or an engineered mega. That would play her, but again, does she have enough meat?
So few crew that have the trades. They could just add caregiver. We've got plenty of those now.
Oh, we do. I think there's more caregivers added after the caregiver event, as always is.
Yeah,
Saru is a caregiver.
Yeah, he's a caregiver. He's like the 13th or something caregiver added in the few months since that mega. So
you're saying we need a caregiver mega?
Yeah, augments caregiver, or no, sorry, engineered caregiver.
Yes, let's do it. Also in her,
you're listening, Ben.
Also in her six-pack, we have Mintark and Riker, and then you can get the idea here. It's people disguised as other people. Mintark and Riker, we have Assimilated Taurus, John Moss, Cardassian Kira, and Klingon Janeway. Klingon Janeway is a favourite of mine. She is a good... if you look at a save crew slots, and I froze Ardra, and I've used Klingon Janeway as a replacement, because she doesn't have quite the same crit boost, but it's enough to get you through, and it's enough to sort of... You'll suffer a bit more in arena, but for skirmish is fine. Yeah, you just get a little bit more accuracy on it. But anyone else in this pack that picks your eyes, guys, that might be worth, ignoring Laneth, might be worth getting your pick?
I like both the other purples.
Mm-hmm.
Atmos is a fantastic Cisco variant. Gets Klingon. Did he also have the Bajoran trait, or did they get rid of that when they added Klingon?
Good question. I have to check that.
He's got good stats. He's one of the best, I think, purple Ciscos. And then
he does have
Kira
the Bajoran trait.
Oh, he does. Okay. And Kira just gets so many events, and then she counts as a Cardassian, so that's another collection for her.
However, she's pretty bad. I think the last time there was a Kira faction, I didn't even unfreeze her. Her bases are low. They're just not great.
Yeah.
I do have to admit, I have used her in the Gauntlet before to pretty good effect.
Oh,
because she gets a 65% set, which I think at only Obsidian Order Garrick is the only other one that gets 65%. It's Obsidian Order, Saboteur, and something else. So there aren't a lot of strong Gauntlet crew with that trait set. So I'm sure there's one or two other people.
The third one.
Yeah, who were in the right place at the right time and got and used her, and she's okay there, but she's not someone that you want to keep thawed for that purpose. It just doesn't come around frequently enough.
If you don't have her, it's not a bad move.
But not worth diving in for a 6.
All three of the purples have decent collections,
that's
and
true.
You might get lucky and get Klingway or Riker's even helpful. He's a Vulcan.
However, if you want a good use of your deal, and this is debatable, and I haven't pulled up any art for this, but we have 2 390s. We didn't talk about the other ones last week as well, but they're on the mega event, as people know, bring a whole batch of new deals in the store. And apologies to VIP Zero Crew, we are going to talk about spending dilithium. I'm so sorry, but please tune out for 10 minutes. Come back later.
Hey, we talked about Nightmare Mode.
We did. There you go.
Relatively close.
Ultra VIP Zero,
yeah. If I can backtrack,
do
you guys do any spending on Nightmare Mode, and what do you do with the deal that you do get?
Doubles.
Yeah, it's pretty much VIP Zero rules, which is I'll pick up my shuttle. I've got my 3rd shuttle on there. I'll get the 4th shuttle, and then it'll be crew slots, because I think we both came to the agreement that this has to be a VIP Zero thing for it to work properly. Because as soon as you put money, it kind of invalidates the challenge a little bit.
You should just buy packs and airlock it all.
Yeah, but it gets you trainers, which again it imbalances it a little bit. It's We're balancing a game we didn't even make.
Scan speed ups.
Yeah.
Scan speed ups. Scan speed ups.
Get all my 3 scans done in.
Do your dailies faster.
I'm sure someone has. I can't believe anyone that would pay Dilithium for scan speed ups. Own up in chat now if you have, and we will rightfully shame you. Okay, so the 390s this week. You can get Mira Bashir along with Mira Keiko and Mira Esri. You can also get Mira Detmer if you missed her in the event. 2 skiller extraordinaire. Mira Jennifer Sisko and Mira Uhura. Not a hugely attractive selection of crew, but if you're looking to complete some Mira crew, like I didn't have Mira Esri and I needed some Mira Bashir, so I took a few on that. There's for 390, which seems to be the de facto default. Oxymer in there. Seems to be the default for Megas now, gone down from 490 to 390. It's a more attractive price point than pretty much anything else to sort of complete those super rare crew.
Yeah, the golds we had last week too, Mirrorkirk and Cochrane. I mean, like we said 100 times, there are not a lot of good mirror crew out there. But at the price point, you're going to collect a handful of big golds along the way, just from going through the packs and an extra honor. So it is. I mean, they created the problem in the collection, and now they're selling you the solution, which was fine. I mean, that's how a lot of games operate. But just be aware of that. If you want to complete the collection in a hurry, this is probably one of the better ways to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have to spend your hard-earned honor on citing some bad crews. So I can see the appeal it has for a few people. It's not for me, but...
How about you, Jenos? Anything in there that...
I think last week, and since we didn't talk about him last week, I actually pulled packs for Mirror Cochrane because it had Mirror Chekhov in there, and he's the only Mirror super rare that's not in the portal. So I was going to pull until I got 4 Chekhovs, and along the way, I got 5 Mirror Zephyrin Cochranes.
Did you? I didn't
he is
know
going,
that.
Another Yeah, he's another notch on the mirror.
God.
He's not the worst.
Would you
one.
kind
He's
of play the same game in a different way?
Yeah, exactly.
He just turned his phone upside down before pulling the packs.
Hey, we haven't tried that. That's a good idea.
Oh, that is a good idea. Just flip your screen. This week, though, it was not something that I wanted to pull. I know a lot of players who, before the mirror collection came out, a lot of the mirror purples are just terrible. See Mirror Cisco. So, they were airlocking them, and this is a good way to get those mirror purples for cheap.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't pull any this week, but I probably would if I needed the gold, maybe to finish them. Did you pull any, Idle?
I did. I did because I wanted to finish Mirror Bashir.
Everyone else doesn't.
That's very true. I went to go for Mirror Bashir to finish him off. I actually got quite lucky because I ended up getting another star for EV Suit Nan. I got another star for White Rabbit. And unfortunately for Stars, I had to make a very tough choice. And Stars, if you are listening, I love you, buddy, but I had to go with my heart here. I had a choice between Governor Worf, who I had no stars on and limited crew slots, or the 4th star for Mirror Mayweather. So I had to go with Mayweather on that one, and I do apologise. I am without honour on that one.
Wasn't
Mountain
it
Climber Mayweather?
Mountain Climber Mayweather, yes. Sorry, not Mirror Mayweather. Yes, Mountain Climber Mayweather. I always get those two confused.
Mayweathers.
I can't believe they gave you your own show.
That's weird. Yeah, who did this? Who authorized this? It's weird. I need to talk to my agent.
I think Stars begrudgingly approved of your choice, though, even though he was sad about it.
I mean,
That's
he's
probably
not on the
what
show
gave him
this
the
week,
cold.
so I think
you
he's
literally gave him a cold because of your choice.
I think this is why he's not here today. I didn't pick Worf, and he's just like, no, I'm done.
Chat, update us on your 390 luck.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Reed in chat says 2 Detmers and Fury Cuts from 5 pulls.
That's
3 and
good.
5, especially that price point, is very good.
Very good.
A programming note that we're going to bury in the second hour. We will be off on the 23rd. No show then, as we ramp up holiday festivities. So, assuming they do 4 weeks of these 390 packs, and we're not here to guide you through troubled waters, I would say if Mirror Jean-Luc Picard or Killy, if you don't have an arena crew, or Stamets pops up in these, those are crew that at that price point, I could sign off on going for. But a lot of these other ones, so I think all the other crew, all the other mirror crew are in the portal now. So with Chekhov having been checked off the list,
channeling that
you would
big
probably need
McLarge
one of
energy.
those good golds to. I gotta channel that big McLarge huge.
Yeah. You know, if anyone's got any questions about crew, should I pull, should I not, head over to the Discord. Load of friendly people over there that will always help. You know, worth asking the
And
question.
Idle's there too.
Thanks for that.
How many Discord servers are you in now, Idle?
Too many to count. Okay. Since we're talking about Mayweather, there is 2 limited time offers that you can spend for and grab the good Mayweather, the most elusive skill set in the game, shared only with Delta Flyer Paris, Command, Engineering, Medical, one of only 2 limited time crew to share this slot. No, you can grab him in one of the LTOs this week. I did to grab the 5th star because I said I just got the 4th star in the portal, so it's like 5th star, perfect. He's done. Now I just need to level him. So, guys, let's talk about Mayweather because we've never really spoken much about this version on the show. He is unique. He is Voyage Rank 131, but do you think his uniqueness would be an asset to people?
Well, I know you're going to use them on Voyage.
CDU auto?
Because Delta Flyer Paris has been in the same situation for longer, and I have seen the testimonials on Discord, on the forums, the people saying, you know, to hell with his rank. I use him all the time on the voyages. I can't find that skill set. I can't find EngMed. I can't find Med Command. So, not having finished them myself, I can still tell you, based on the average feedback I've heard for years about Delta Flyer Paris, that yeah, you'll use them at least there. Now, say for a Boomer Mega, I don't think we're going to get a lot of event work out of Mayweather. He has a good command base, and I'm trying to look up his other traits here. Athlete has had 1 event. Pilot has had, I think, 5. So there's a little bit of juice there, but this is primarily a voyage choice, someone to pad out skill set. So you'll get another year and a half, maybe a little more out of him on voyages. So it's up to your personal choice whether you want to chase power or you want to try to fill the skill holes in your voyages.
Someone you want, Jenos?
I gladly picked up his 1st star. He was one of my most wanted, simply because of that unique, elusive, and truly elusive skill set. I do have a 5 out of 5 Delta Flyer Paris, who I gladly sighted up after the honor sale. And he makes voyages even though I've got much better powerful crew. And I would gladly go ahead and throw sights on this Mayweather as well.
Okay.
If I'm so lucky to get a bunch of sites after the next hypothetical honor sale. And maybe I'll show up in a campaign, and then I'll get the other 4 stars. So, you know, I would buy the LTO if it was the 1st or the 5th star, and you know, I bought the 1st, and you bought the 5th, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I finished him, and yeah, it's. I think I'll get a lot of use out of him. Sorry, we didn't mean to laugh over you there, Jenos. We're just looking in chat, and he's terrible. Ben, what are you doing, man? Like, he keeps going, so Stars is not here, so I shouldn't tell you the Wharf news. Is Stars that special?
Is it a Wharf collection?
Oh, we're just all
Because
Wharf.
that would be in keeping with the...
Pick Wharf. Oh, there we go.
And Stephen Reese says, tell us the news now or make Stars annoyed over missing it. That's true. He couldn't be here.
I think he's in bed with chicken noodle soup. He's going to load up Discord and have like 15 notifications because we've all pinged him and let him know though.
Is that right? Is it Michael
Jordan? Eat chicken noodle soup, or is that a U.S. thing? I'm curious. Do you have a separate thing like
I have
beans
chicken
on
soup
toast that you eat?
Beans on toast is amazing. Shut up. Is it plain simple? Garrick says, is it Michael Dawn's birthday? I don't think it is. No, it's not. No. No, we have chicken soup. Chicken soup is great. We don't have chicken noodle soup. We just have plain chicken noodle soup. Oh, it's not a Wharf collection.
Noodle soup.
Well, I'm disappointed.
Was that a Joey reference?
Yes.
Noodle soup.
That's what it was. Yeah.
All right, I got you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Also, just a quick aside, I'm very proud of my Buffalo Bills for their statement win on Monday Night Football. So, Bills, first Monday night win since Jim Kelly was playing.
Bills Mafia.
So it's like 25 years. Yeah, Bills Mafia. I
We'll
was going to
go
wear
jump
my
through
hoodie,
some
but I
tables.
figured it was
Are you guys
it
really
was
talking
too
about
hot. It's
football?
79 degrees.
Are you guys really talking
Look,
about
yes.
American football on a Star Trek stream?
Look, I grew up in Buffalo, so I went to those games when it was, 10 below zero, and you're packed in with a bunch of beer swilling people jammed in next to you, and they're all yelling at you because I was rooting actually for the away team because I'm not a Bills fan number one. But anyway, we'll say that for a weekend stream or something.
Otto and I share that in that we're both natives of Buffalo.
Hey.
By the by, we have an eye on a possible honor sale mega show at some point. I don't know. We'll probably have to put it on the weekend because it can't all be contained on a Wednesday. But when the honor sale drops, if viewers out there, if you want to submit some photos or some video of you pulling these pure distilled gold beholds, that would be pretty cool. Oh God, Ben's a Pats fan. Kick him out of the channel. Let me log on the Timelines Talks account, and I'm gonna boot him from this channel. You can't have a Pats fan on this stream. Actually, he's probably suffering enough this year, so.
Cam Newton is your quarterback. Cam Newton.
Okay. We don't want to alienate the nerds. No, we are here for them.
Oh, football. That's all I got to say.
No matter what we say, we alienate someone.
I mean, you are both Americans, of course you do. Anyway, sorry.
Hey, I get outvoted 2-1 every week, so I have an ally in chat today, or on the show.
All right, okay. I'll allow 5 more minutes of football.
We love you, Idol.
The other, speaking of disappointments in the game that you're most enthusiastic about, we have Mirror Reed as also your other tantalizing choice of purchase.
Mirror Duchovny.
Mirror Daniel Craig / David Duchovny, whichever. It's one of those, you ever see, you see that internet, that popular internet image of the dress that has 2 colors, no matter which way you look at it. Yeah. One way is either blue and gold or the other way is white and gold. Or this is the same thing. Some people see Daniel Craig, some people see David Duchovny. So yes, I think we all know the answer to this. Even if, okay, here's the real question. If you had him 4 of 5 and you needed that last star, would you?
Still no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy the 5th star for what, $10 US or however many quid it is over there. I don't know what your currency is now. Are you in the EU or not anymore?
I don't fucking know.
It's pence.
Oh, it's
pence and pounds still.
God, is it guineas?
It was. I wish it still was.
It's kidney pie.
Some people wish it still was.
It's a barter system over there.
It's gonna be, honestly. It won't take long. I'll be out on the street. Two well-fed children. What can you give me? Sack of rice.
Mirror Reed.
So we're not buying Mirror Reed.
As you look in the corners of this card, so there is arena damage, but it is at 12 seconds. So if you were a very new player and you get like this versus 2 other terrible golds, fine. Take him, put him on your arena team. He will help early on with the instant damage. Now he has the collection spot, but 5 stars on a gold is a lot of behold capital for 1/25th of a collection perk there. So the traits are kind of marksman and mirror maybe, but both of those traits have a lot of sec options. And Reed, I think he's had like 1 event in the last 2 years or something. So yeah, and Ben in chat says Mirror Reed is our worst art, sadly. I'm assuming he a year ago would have been 3rd worst behind Blood Oath Jadzia and Commander Tomlock, but we've had both of those updated and to quite favorable results. So maybe Reed will be next, although just for the Duchovny jokes, I wouldn't mind seeing him stay a while longer.
What, 23rd century Martok? Bring Martok ahead of Mirror Reed.
Potato Martok, yeah.
Potato Martok. Mirror Cisco is also pretty egregious.
Still Potato Martok.
Or, oh, no, was it Klingon O'Brien? That's not a great one.
We're going to go all Martin Luther and hammer our list of art change demands on the wall of WRG.
I will counter with what, Sunkatsu is saying in chat. It's a shame because, they say it's a shame because lately the art is excellent and it has improved a lot. And yes, you look at Mirror Saru this week and Mirror Tilly, the artwork for the game has really shot up lately. It's been fantastic. So credits to your new art department. They've been doing a great job.
It's the old department. They just fed them a little better,
Yeah. Don't keep them sweet. Okay. I think that's all that needs to be said on Mirror Read. Just don't. Okay. I think it's time for us to continue where we left off last week with...
This Wednesday on UPN, an all-out war. Competitors from all over the cosmos go head-to-head in a battle for supremacy. Captain Kirk versus Spock. Captain Kirk versus the Gorn. Captain Kirk versus basic human decency. Find out who will fall and who will be victorious on Timeline Showdown.
Yes, it's the one show where we finally determine the best crew of all, and this week we will be deciding... Sky God.
That intro is so seedy. I love it. We were going for like one of those, mid-90s. It's 2 a.m. and you're watching TV in the dark and one of those ads come on for a wrestling show or that kind of thing. So I think we did not to pat our own backs. I think that came out just the way we wanted.
So this week we will be deciding the final first... Sorry, say again. Oh, anyway.
Go ahead. No, I think it's fantastic. I really enjoy the intro.
Oh, yeah. We'll be doing more of those. Who should replace Deanna Troi as ship's counselor? We will have the battle between Tommy Gunn Dixon, Fury Kess, Armus Mirror Agent Worf, Anbo Jitsu, Riker, Wrathful Kirk, and Groundskeeper Boothby versus Brainless Spock. So, chat, I am going to be sending you this one, and I haven't voted on any of these yet. Oh, gosh. Oh, I haven't even loaded up the chat. Jesus Christ. Amateur hour here.
Are you sure you're eligible to vote?
I don't know. What country am I in? Hang on.
No one's really sure. Are you in the EU or are you not?
God knows. I don't even know. No, literally, I don't know. It's that bad.
Right. Idle exit.
Idle exit? Or Texit? Right, chat, I have posted a vote in your stream, so please vote on whether Groundskeeper Boothby or Brainless Spock should replace Deanna Troi as ship's counselor. Guys, it's gotta be Boothby.
Well, yeah. I think we had
Seems like he has a bunch of folksy wisdom.
Yeah, I think we had 2 non-joke entries for this whole bracket, and Boothby is one of them, so... there's a very famous The First Duty, which... the TNG episode, which everyone remembers for Picard's speech to Wesley to tell him to do the right thing, but he gets counseled by Boothby in that one, and I think in 1 or 2 other early season episodes. So he's a great character, and I love that he made it into Voyager as well. So, all right, Ben, you attention. Why don't you tell us about this new Worf?
Who here likes Worf, says WRG Ben in chat. Come on, man. You want to hog our stream? Let's do it. Oh, Brainless Spock has a couple of votes.
Why isn't chat being more vocal?
He is, yeah.
Oh, they're too busy voting.
They're too busy voting.
Oh, yeah.
So who here can make the case for Brainless Spock? Who wants to bare their soul to him?
Depends. Are we talking about Brainless Spock, the physical body with the helmet, or the Spock that was in the crystal sort of at the end where his manifested spirit was? I think we are talking about the vessel without the...
Just the body.
Just the body. Spock of the body.
Yeah.
I could hang things on him.
And in a way, isn't that a kind of therapy? Actually, interesting. Straw poll now gives a nice little pie chart, which is new. We didn't have that last time. So, yeah, 14% to 86 at the moment, 12 to 2. I think we're going to have a call this on early and say, oh, yes, Groundskeeper Boothby is our winner.
We have a Timelines Talks projections. Groundskeeper Boothby will win.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Brilliant.
When is it not too soon?
I don't need any more election season. I think we've had enough for 1 year.
Oh gosh.
We're literally doing an election right now.
Okay.
No, it's rigged. So this is not real democracy. We've already printed the votes ahead of time.
Okay.
The
So
winner is going to be Fury.
Ambojitsu Riker or Wrathful Kirk? I think this is an interesting one. Well, I do anyway.
I mean, I think sport, sport really does help to relieve stress, even though it's a made-up sport. And I really want to wear the lobster outfit.
So did you guys in the US ever have a show called Gladiators, which we had in the UK? It was very popular.
American Gladiators. Yeah, we had American
Gladiators.
So
you got to brand everything with red, white, and blue over.
Yeah. So there was the one where they had the Ambojitsu, didn't they? They had essentially the two, the pole, and they bashed against each other. Essentially, that is what this is.
The joust.
The joust, yes.
Yeah. Except they're blindfolded.
I would be shocked if someone has not already superimposed Duel of the Fates over Riker and his dad whacking each other with the puffy swords,
That's a good one.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Riker would be my...
I don't know why Riker's not getting more votes. Kirk would just be yelling at you.
Well, see, here's my rationale for Kirk, because I think Riker's kind of the easy choice. Kirk in Wrath of Khan was always one step ahead. Khan, the dirty bloodsucker, thought he had him cornered, and Kirk is sitting there, calmly chomping on the apple because he already knew with his emotional outburst that would trigger Khan into misstepping. Like a poor marksman, he kept missing the target. So I think Kirk's mammoth intellect and superior insight may help you through a few problems Riker didn't even figure out until he was in his 40s or late 30s that his dad was cheating when he was a little kid. So he may miss the obvious when you come to him with your problems.
We've never...
Well, to be fair, when he was a kid, he didn't have a beard yet. Beard adds wisdom.
He may have just shaved it for season 1. He may have had it as a kid.
He shaved it for Insurrection.
That's true.
I don't know if I can go with Kirk.
Oh, it's really close.
I think Khan is, and this is my one complaint with Wrath of Khan, is they hyped up the augments to be these all amazing kind of superior men, but they were just outwitted by normal people. Khan was an idiot. Was just a pure idiot. He didn't know how to navigate 3-dimensional space. He got outwitted by Kirk. Okay, Kirk's cool. He can do it, but I don't know. I kind of, that's my one complaint about the Wrath of Khan, is they never set up that Khan was this amazing intellect, only that he had sheer fucking hubris to assume role of a captain and try and assert his dominance over mankind.
I'm laughing at the superior intellect.
Exactly.
Thank you, Garrick.
He was smart, but he wasn't experienced in starship operations.
So that was the whole theme of TOS, whether it was the M5 computer or Norman on Planet Mud. They always had some superior big brain thinker who the human genius and the soul of humanity had to outthink. So that is sort of in keeping with that.
So we're seeing 50-50 exactly here between Riker and Kirk. This is 8-8 exactly. So if someone wants to move that needle...
The three of us break the tie.
Should the three of us break the tie?
I think I might have to vote.
Our three of us.
If no one else is going to... Okay, I'm going to put my vote in. I'm going to have to go Riker. I can't... I don't know. Yeah. Oh, hang on. It hasn't counted my vote. Miscount!
Riker as well.
Stop the count.
Oh, it's 9-9! Someone here, one of you...
No, Riker won and by a lot. Stop the count, please.
Didn't even lost. Oh, there we go. It's edged in favor of Wrathful Kirk.
Ooh.
10-9. I'll give us a couple more minutes. I tell you what, I'm gonna go to the toilet. When I come back, I want to see a winner.
As we're passing the time for podcast listeners, WRG Ben in chat says, hint, stars begged for this wharf to be in game. That doesn't narrow it down. So I chose this wharf for my dev pack, which releases next Tuesday. Oh, that's great. We had asked him last time he was on, have you done your own developers choice pack. So I'm looking forward to seeing what crew are in his Dev's choice pack. I'm gonna guess that there's a Picard or two based on his fondness for that.
Which Picard did he say that he basically pushed through?
I think Romulan Picard. He said he did the art for from the beginning to the end. So
love that card. I have him 1 out of 5. Picked him from a Behold without any shame because he's awesome. And he's eating noodle soup.
Noodle soup. Oh yeah. So guesses we have Mudbath Wharf. Oh, that would be good. If it's if the art is just like a floating head with a pool of mud there, that would be some interesting art.
When you get him in Behold, you don't know who he is because he's going to be covered by the Choose This Crew.
I can't tell if this is Armus or Mudbath Wharf. What's going on here? Yeah, Midwife Wharf from the episode Disaster, where you are now fully dilated. You may give birth. That would be a good one.
That delivery was very orderly.
I must urge you firmly but gently to push. Push, Keiko.
What's going on? Okay, Wrathful Kirk. Wrathful Kirk.
I think he also wants Eevee Suit Worf. Ooh, do you think, because of his fondness for Picard, what if we get Eevee Suit Worf and Eevee Suit Picard?
Ooh.
We just had the collection. I know.
Could they possibly add 2 new crew in 1 6-pack?
No.
Has that ever happened?
Probably not, but
oh no, 0, 1, and 1, 0.
Oh, that's
right.
Also, what if we get a couple of Eevee Suit crew? That would be pretty interesting.
What about season 1 command track, Lieutenant Junior Ray Worf?
Yeah, with the red uniform.
You're right.
Yeah, this, like I said, this doesn't narrow it down. Stars wants so many Worfs in game.
He wants all the Worfs. He wants the Worfs that don't exist yet.
All the Worfs.
Back on track. I think we're going to call it for Wrathful Kirk, who is winning 13-9. So congratulations, Wrathful Kirk. You have made it through to the next round. Please also mark it off while I stick the next one in chat. Okay.
Are we off track?
Okay. Oh, speaking of wolves.
How many of these guesses, are any of these guesses right, Ben?
Okay, so Armus versus Mirror Regent Worf. Speaking of, so who would be a better counselor? Not just your favorite crew. Come on, let's put some thought into it. Who would be a better counselor? The slimy piece of mud that killed everyone's favorite character, or the guy in chains working for the Cardassian Klingon Alliance?
As our guest, Jenos, you have first choice of who you want to make the defense for, and I will counter.
I would defend Mirror Regent Worf, because at least he's not the embodiment of all the negative emotions of an entire people. I think I rest my case.
But on the other hand, him absorbing negative emotions is a good thing. He's also well-versed in isolation therapy. He put Troy in the little shuttlecraft and talked to her one-on-one, undivided attention. And he also gave Riker back to the crew when Data asked nicely, Data, something's got me! Oh, can we get Armus-sized Riker where he's like covered in black goo? That would be a neat art.
What would be the skill set for that?
There's already equipment for Armus.
Well, yeah, it's the Riker's head all covered in black, but that would be a pretty impotent crew, I imagine, but it would be fun crew art.
I feel like you prepared those remarks and I had to do mine off the cuff. I demand
No,
a
I didn't. I figured you'd pick Worf, but, isolation therapy.
Right, well, I mean, I am standing in for Star, so I sort of had to pick Worf.
Pretty sure you've used that drop more than any other.
Okay, we're looking like we got a bit of a clear win here with Mirror Regent Worf. Someone tell me why Mirror Regent Worf. Would he make a good counselor?
I think in keeping with the election season, they just didn't want to vote for Armus, so Worf won by default. But...
You don't want to vote for the slimy guy at the top of the food chain? Oh, okay. Okay, we'll call this one for Mirror Regent Worf. Please knock that one off for us. Easy one. Ben says, did everyone like the new collection? Keep up. We talked about that at the start of the show.
No more collections, please. They're just onerous. I hate them.
We didn't say if we liked it or not. I like it.
I did like it.
Oh, yeah, we love them.
We didn't
the more
really
the
say
merrier.
We liked it, but we didn't like it. Oh yeah, we like more collections. Period.
We love collections. Give us collections. Okay, so who should replace Deanna Troi as ship's counselor? Tommy Gunn Dixon or Fury Kess? Oh, the man that guns down 1,000 Borgs versus the woman that got kicked off the show for 7 of 9.
I think it's got to be Picard, right? Haven't we all wanted at some point to let our anger out in that manner?
Is that not the same as Fury Kess? Was she not doing the same thing though, letting her anger out? It was very.
Well,
yeah, she's causing mass destruction though.
Mm.
I guess hers was more like a slow burn because she thought that she was abandoned as time went on, but Picard always hated the Borg from the minute he was rehumanized at the end of Best of Both Worlds. So that's a tough one.
He has a very snazzy white suit.
Very nice white suit.
Yeah, and we get the Ethan Phillips cameo as the holographic doorman.
That's another one we need. Bartender Neelix.
That's one of my favorite appearances of Ethan Phillips because he's not Neelix. Like the Ferengi from Enterprise too.
I think I'm going to do all variants of Neelix next time we do a Timeline Showdown.
The best Neelix. No one wins. Saying that, if you've not listened to the Delta Flies podcast,
Officer Neelix.
Go and listen to the Delta Flies podcast. They had one of them. They had Ethan Phillips come on, and and the way they talk about Neelix makes you kind of think, oh, maybe he was a good character. I think it's one of those ones that grows on you with as you grow older. But anyway, it's looking like a clearer lead for Tommy Gunn Dixon, 10-6. I'm going to let this run a bit.
Grows on things too.
Very true. Hey, nice bit of mold on cheese. Get a nice Stilton going. Hey, what's wrong with that? Get that cheese to sick bay.
I have to say, one of my favorite stories. It's so friggin' absurd. He's pasteurizing cheese or whatever, and somehow that infects the entire ship's gel packs and grinds the ship to a halt. That is so goofy.
Who made the ship out of Gouda?
Well, it was a good idea at the time.
Gouda.
No more puns like Kemen Barrett.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you sure you're not Big McLarge Huge in disguise? It is looking like Tommy Gunn Dixon is taking the win 12-6. Unless anyone wants to quickly get that one up, even our votes can't. 13-6 now. Let's call it. That is going to be Tommy Gunn Dixon through to the next round, which we will do maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll see. So next time it will be.
I think as the pre-Christmas edition next week, we'll probably do a little less stats talk and a little more
bit more
fun stuff.
More fun like this. So we will have Morn versus. So think about this until we come back next time. Have a think about this before we do. Who would make a better counselor than Deanna Troi? Morn versus Solar Sail Cisco. Vedic Winadami versus Paraith Culticat. Tommy Gunn Dixon versus Mirror Regent Worf. Wrathful Kirk versus Groundskeeper Boothby. I know my winner. Okay. Let me close that.
So as a little recap for anyone who missed it, according to our guesses, one of them will be appearing next week. Either, who were they? Mudbath Worf, EV Suit Worf, Midwife Worf from Disaster,
yes,
or Season 1 Red Shirt Ops Worf.
We got Parallels Worf in the red uniform with the striped com badge. That could be one.
Well, that would be good, but he said it's already one of those ones that we mentioned.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I missed that part when I was...
Or possibly all of them. Tune in next week.
An all Worfs all-day pack. Okay.
An army of Worfs.
What if?
Worf packs.
Could we be seeing another achievement? Could it be an achievement event? We keep talking about packs, but we haven't had an achievement event since Homestead of Janeway. Oh, no, we had the pack, the Elusive Treasures pack recently. Okay, maybe it is a bit too soon.
Yeah.
Who knows? That'd be nice.
You gotta spread it around.
Keep those rumors going. Yeah. Okay, before we go, we've had a good show. This has been great. Jenos, thanks for joining us. Let's do some beholds. Because, as our guests,
for having me.
we should do this with you a few times. So let's spin the wheel and hope that no crew that I accidentally left in there do... come up in the wrong collection. So let's give the try. And Stars is not here, so I have my Stars. I should have brought a puppet or something. We have our Stars tricorder replication.
Can he be Dwight Schrute?
Okay. We have 1 star on Obsidian Order Garrick, 0 stars on Krenim Gasparist, 0 stars on Tuxedo Nog. Well, you're 1 star on Garrick, you've already got your gauntlet. So...
Yes, that is true.
That's a good one.
Ooh. Yeah, this is a tough one. So I'm thinking... go ahead.
Well, you have the Always Take a Star crowd. You have a Diplomat in Paris, and you have a Vanity crew in Nog. So a little bit of everything.
One of my current board veteran goals is to finish the Holodex Enthusiast collection and get 5 out of 5 for Lucille Davenport. So Nog is one of those you have to collect. You can do all but one. And I was hoping that I would be, this is for me personally, I was hoping that I was going to avoid Jazz Odo, since he's the only skillet of them. But unfortunately, I grabbed Tim, and Beowulf Kim is going to be the one that's left out. But here, I would love to snag Nog. And he's actually not terrible as far as his voyage power. He's not a bad crew. He's not main cast, but I like him.
We can guess that this is
in honor of Aaron Eisenberg.
Yeah, we can guess that this is a newer account because he was a global giveaway, late 2018, I want to say?
Yeah. I missed him because I think I've only got the 1 star on him, and I got that from Behold.
It predated me, unfortunately. I don't have it.
Yeah, for the Aaron Eisenberg link, that's a good crew to take. I think statistically, probably Paris is the best, and Diplomat is the best impact in terms of collections, so... This is one I don't think I'd blame anyone for taking any of these crew. It's pretty close.
It's good. You've got a bit of a range here, haven't you? The star if you want to stay on crew slots, but you've got use in the other one, so it's quite nice. All right, let's spin it again.
Chet says Paris, Garrick, up arrow. I don't know if that means she's Garrick, and Paris again. So
yeah, no love for Nog.
I guess I stand alone. The cheese stands alone.
Let's run it again.
I'm out of cheese puns. Sorry.
Are you really? Okay. Oh, okay. 1 star on Age of Sail Crusher, 0 stars on Revolutionary Damar, or 0 stars on Gull Madred. I'd be tempted to say
Madred has just an epic episode, but he's terrible. Crusher's 1 out of 5. You said.
Mm-hmm.
So, that goes towards her Vanity collection, and if you don't have Physician finished, then Damar, he gets a few 45% gauntlets.
He does, yeah.
1st star is the most important for him.
It is going to be interesting with all these collections they're adding. There are going to be actually quite a few crew where we can say, oh, they're in a collection at some point. Just thinking about it, because if they keep adding more and more collections, then when we say, oh, they're +1 collection to whatever, but what does that mean? After a while, if everyone's in a collection.
If you don't have someone like Kalis, or you don't have, say, Marshal of France Q, somehow, Damar is good for Gauntlet.
There's someone popped in the main Discord the other day, right? Well, I guess it was today, and he said he was frustrated in the Gauntlet, and as the 3 of us have all had alts at one point or the other, we can all attest when you first start Gauntlet, it is brutal. If you don't have anyone, you do your 5 battles, get your 5 losses out of the way, and then, all over again in 4 hours. So this is a good behold to snag. I mean, if you're a big Vanity completionist, you already have 1 star. You could fuse her later if you really wanted to. But for anyone who doesn't have Gauntlet on lockdown, either of the Cardassians, preferably Damar, could be a big help there. Yeah, so that they do not add a lot of Gauntlet crew. This year we've had Red Angel. Have we had a single other strong Gauntlet crew added to the game? I think the last one was Twilight to Paul. And was that this year or last year?
Marquee Takeover Seska had a 45%, but it's not a good one.
Not strong proficiency, though, yeah.
But no, I think Cass was, or not Cass, T'Pol was the last one, and that was that the Enterprise Mega or?
No, it was
before. I don't remember.
That was Caregiver.
2020 has been so long. I don't know when she came out, but it's been about a year. So
it was the last one before.
She's in the portal, so yeah, it's been a while.
Chat says Yeah, and Revolutionary Damar has only commented 3 times on this one. Damar, for Cardassia, Madrid, Damar. So,
Madrid for Infinite Boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, again, you've got a little bit... everything between Damar and Crusher, but no to Madrid. All right, let's do one more. Last one, unless it's terrible, in which case we'll spin it again. But let's spin and play the noise. Okay.
Sound effect.
We have 0 stars on Dark Ages McCoy, 0 stars on Cortar, 3 stars on Vengeful Laurel.
Oof.
I might do another one after this because this is a little bit of an obvious one.
Not satisfying you, is it?
It's not. No,
Yeah,
I need a juicy behold. I need something that's not quite easy.
Laurel here, yeah.
I think it's got to be Laurel.
There's no.
Well,
yeah.
McCoy's the best one.
Laurel, she's not a diplomat, is she?
No, don't think she is.
Is Mother Laurel?
No, I don't think she is either. I'd have to check though.
Is this
I think
through a
you're thinking
diplomat?
of Chancellor Rel is a diplomat. Vengeful is not. No.
Yeah.
McCoy, for my money, is the best by a margin, but he's 3 stars behind. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that Laurel is going to do. If discovery events are done, she has Klingon and Villain and Interrogator. You might be at the mercy of Omega, where you get another half faction. That's a little tricky.
I could see a Klingon Mega happening again. Again, like I said earlier, we've had Vulcan and Mirror come up again, so Klingon could be doable, certainly.
They're pretty popular.
Given their propensity at this point to add more collections, I think what Klingon has been requested for a very long time. It's like the one racial trait that has the most crew without a collection other than human, I think.
The human collection. The organic collection. Could you imagine?
Starfleet collection, Federation collection.
Okay, let's do one more.
Let's do one more, man.
Let's do one more, and we'll see if we can make it an interesting one. Okay.
Chat is all about the fusion.
We'll take the fuse. Yeah, of course. Okay, okay, this one is slightly more interesting. 0 stars on Control Leland, 1 star on Abraham Lincoln, and 1 star on Automaton 2000's favourite crew, Irina.
I have so many favorites.
You have one favourite actress.
Isn't it it's always take Lincoln. Per Skycap, always take Lincoln.
Skycap's favourite Lincoln fan club.
Lincoln is a diplomat.
He is a diplomat. Irina, although no collections, does have. She has
the worst diplomat. I guess she had a Chav down there as well, but
she has gold.
I'm thinking.
Do I know anyone who's recently fused up in the Chav for some reason?
No.
Couldn't think who that could be.
This is, if you'll pardon my French, the term shit sandwich comes to mind. Because you have a couple of pretty good Voyagers on the outside. And then you have Lincoln, who, I mean, if we're stumping for Gauntlet Crew early on, I could see taking 1 star of him, but not in this Behold. The other 2 are pretty good crew.
Controlled Leland
really
is one.
Leland's art.
Yeah, it's a good one actually. But he's one I don't see many people talking about. But he's constantly he's still top of the Voyage ranks because he's pretty vanilla, but he's quite powerful.
He's in the top 20 Voyagers. And I think Irina's is somewhere around 60 or top 50 maybe still. And her skill set is, among other things, is much more desirable. So.
Robert Kaiser says, I don't understand why Lincoln is
Put her
a
on your bridge
diplomat.
crew with your Delta Flyer crew.
Yeah, that's true. The Delta Flyer sort of bridge crew. You want Irina there, don't you?
Yeah. That would be awesome.
So, if I remember this episode correctly...
Ben says take Lincoln.
Oh, maybe he knows something we don't. Lincoln Mega? President Mega? Huh?
Is this going to be one of those shows where every time Ben speaks, we analyze everything he says right down? Was this what he means?
Yeah, Federation of Planets President Ragaratrai? That's the first time I've tried to pronounce his name. So,
President of Earth?
Okay, Skycap says he marches into the opposing camp to make peace. Now, I thought that was
And then he dies.
Sirach. Doesn't Sirach try to do that, and then they kill him? Because of his
Yes.
pacifist mentality, he refuses to pick up a weapon. So they kill off Sirach early on, and then the other three.
Isn't it? No,
start
Lincoln then
making
goes in to get
weapons.
captured, but then as he's walking out, he gets speared in the back. And Spock, yeah.
It is some bad TOS. I mean,
is so
I like
bad.
it, but for anyone else, it's bad TOS. So I guess it's rightful.
Isn't there a Kalis in this episode too? We can
Yeah.
get a Kalis variant.
Yeah.
TOS Kalis.
Colonel Green.
There's Colonel
and
Green.
Some
Another
What
bad
else?
guy.
Anyways,
yeah.
not Lincoln. Even for the president's mega, not Lincoln.
Yeah, I guess Arena's probably the best one. But if you are beholding for fun, it's Lincoln.
Oh, wait, always sight for love.
I think I'm
Behold
going to
for
have
love.
more fun with Arena than Lincoln. I hate to break it to you.
Well, fun is very subjective, and some people have more fun than others.
Each to their own.
The
Okay.
auto.
I think. Oh no! Don't do that. Let's do that. Okay. This has been a great show, Jenos. Thank you for coming and joining us and sort of filling in, because we were originally intended to have you in next week, and then Stars sort of unfortunately suffered from a case of the cold, and so we said to you, "Oh, please come on last minute. Are you busy?" And you were just like, "Yes, I can free my schedule." So thank you very much for coming on, joining us, and putting things a week ahead. It's been great to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have you on
I
again.
was very pleased to join, and this was a lot of fun, and I hope everyone isn't going to unsubscribe as a result of my appearance.
The Jenos effect.
And that Ben is not going to refuse to come on to your show because of my words. Hateful words. Just kidding. We love
If any of you equally hardcore Trek fans out there have been inspired by their Nightmare Mode discussion and want to try it out for yourself, please keep us abreast of your
Yes.
incremental improvements and let us know how torturous it is.
Please go outside and get some air.
Feel
And take your phone
feel
with you.
free
Try not to.
to ping me. I'm on Discord.
Yeah, have a chat in the Discord. We can talk about it. It's fun. It's something different. But yeah. Thank you for joining us, Otto. Thank you for coming this week as well. Everyone in chat, thank you for coming on. Ben, you're either going to elaborate or you're not, but thank you for being here anyway. It's good fun.
We'll find out in a few days.
Apparently we will. This has been fun. We will see you next week for our last episode before we have a bit of a break. But from myself, from Otto, from Jenos, some of us will see you next week. We'll see. Adios.
Oh.